Hello guys, and we're here today with another very interesting deck profile. We're here today with some DDDs. Yes, some DDDs. This is a more budget-friendly build because we're not playing Pot of Desires, which is a stupidly expensive card. So let's just go straight into the deck profile. This is an OTK deck, so you definitely want to go second with this deck because this deck can swarm. This deck can swarm pretty decently. So let's just go straight in. We're playing triple DDD Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok. This guy is great because if he's normal special summon, targeted triple D monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Helps with your swarming. And of course, you contribute another DD monster, target one monster your opponent controls, and banish it. Sucks at targets, but hey, it's definitely very good either way because it just helps with getting rid of monsters. If you have a Kepler that has 0 attack on the field and you have nothing to do with him, gets rid of him so your opponent doesn't make you top with a lightning and attack into him. So definitely very great card to have. And then Savant Thomas, which can summon him out actually, because you can target a double D card in your graveyard, which a double D and a triple D are the same thing. So a double D card in your graveyard, destroy that card, special summon a level 8 triple D monster from your deck, him, and its effects are negated and any battle damage your opponent takes is halved, which kind of sucks, but it helps with making the field and doing stuff. And he's a level 6 scale, or he has a 6 scale, so he helps if you get a Kepler out so you can pendulum summon Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok. But hey, he's a level 8, he's a level 8. If you pop a pendulum in the pendulum zone, you can make a rank 8. And then we're playing triple Bertram May. Actually, wait, no, real quick, Savant Thomas. His pendulum effect is really amazing because he's kind of like a Dark Contract card where he adds a face-up double D monster from your extra deck to your hand. Or a triple D, because a triple D is a double D and a triple D. So that's very, very great, because before Savant Thomas, if you had to get Swamp King, you'd have to use Dark Contract at the gate to search Kepler, or like your last Kepler, to then summon and then use Swamp King. But now you can use Thomas to add back a Kepler that you've already used, and then use your Dark Contract with the gate to search something else out. But anyways, Bertram, we're playing 3. We really don't need him at 3. He's at 3 because he's the best allure target. In fact, he goes him, Slime, Thomas, Kepler, and then these two, it just really depends. But he has a great effect. You can target a DD monster other than himself, which kind of sucks. In fact, any monster that has his name. Declare level 1 to 8, it becomes that level until the end of this turn. So it helps with making your rank 4s and your rank 8 DD monsters, but you can only special summon DD monsters for the rest of the turn. So it really makes things harder. And then double Maxi for more consistency. And then Swirl Slime allows you to freeze him from the hand. You can banish this guy from the graveyard to special summon out a DD monster. So that helps with getting your Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok to your side of the field. So you can use this effect to summon out a DD monster from your graveyard or a triple D monster from your graveyard. Or you can special summon out Kepler and use his effect. Or Savant Thomas or anything. And then Necro Slime allows you to freeze him from the graveyard. We're playing triple of these. He could probably go down to 2 because he might clog, but I haven't had too much problem with him. He's a great discard target and if necessary, a great allure target. But he is definitely it's definitely great to see these guys because having one of each of these guys results in a 2-card rank 7. A 2-card Big Eye or a 2-card Absolute Dragon, or whatever you're trying to make. So definitely a very nice card to have, and it just sets up so many different combos, helps with swarming so much that it's just very great. And then Kepler searches out our Dark Contract cards, and is also a scale 10, but his scale drops by 2 during his standby phase, so you kind of want to get rid of him before that happens, such as with Savant Thomas. Or you can bounce him using this guy, I believe. Anyways, onto the spell cards. Triple Allure for more consistency. They're all Dark Fiend type monsters, there's no reason not to. 1 for 1 is 1 for 1. Just allows you to fill up your graveyard with targets for Necro Slime or to summon off of Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok, and allows you to summon out Kepler, who then gets off a search for your Dark Contracts. You can then get off a search for your DDDs, or allow you to fusion summon and help you swarm. And then Transmodify. Transmodify is great in this deck because it searches out your Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok or your Savant Thomas by sending to your graveyard King Dark. Now this is the only way to really use this card. You could use it on Kepler to summon out a Swirl Slime, but I don't know why you would do that. But hey, it helps you get your King Abyss Ragnarok, who then can summon back out the Dark. So definitely very great, just being able to search from your deck and make more plays. If Chicken Game was legal, I'd be playing Chicken Game instead of this card. And then 1 Regeki because OTK. Upstart for more consistency. Foolish because we want to get cards in graveyard. Double Turn Twister probably should be at 3. It helps fill up your graveyard with crucial cards from your hand that aren't really doing anything. And of course, getting rid of back row is very important. And then Dark Contract with the gate. All of our Dark Contract cards inflict 1,000 during the standby phase, but this one searches any double D or triple D monster from your deck to your hand. This allows you to fusion summon using monsters from your hand, field, or graveyard. The ones in the graveyard gets banished, but all the other ones go to the graveyard unless they're a pendulum on the field, in which case they go to the extra deck. And then our last Dark Contract card allows us to send a Dark Contract card or a DD monster from our hand to the graveyard to target card on the field and destroy it. And all of our DD monsters gain 1,000 attack, which means this card can be activated during the damage step. You just can't use its effect to pop. You can just activate it and flip it face up, but you can use this during the damage step to surprise your opponent. And then for random traps, we're playing 1 Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Helps with being able to OTK or just being great stun card overall, because you get rid of a dog monster, 2,500 more attack, call, spell, or trap cards. Check your opponent's hand, all spell and trap cards they control, and all cards they draw until the end of their 3rd turn, and destroy all cards of the chosen type. So if you activate this during your turn, call traps to get rid of all of your opponent's traps. If you activate this during your opponent's turn, which you probably would be better, I would call spells, so that way they can't do stuff. Unless, of course, you're playing like a Paleozoic deck or some specific deck that has a lot of traps, in which case, call traps. Be smart. And then Fiend Griefing is an interesting tech card. I just had an extra room and I wasn't sure what to do with it. It's a Foolish Burial, but you have to target a card in a monster in your opponent's graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, and send a Fiend type monster from your deck graveyard. It's great against Blue Eyes when they use Ancient Whitestone. I just really wasn't sure what else to put in this deck. There's probably something better, probably like another Twin Twister. But hey, it allows us to fill up a graveyard, which can be very useful. And so that's it for this deck, for the main deck pretty much. It's all about just searching and drawing and just getting to as many monsters as possible and summoning out as many as you can. Now on to the extra deck. We're playing 1 Triple D Wave Oblivion King Caesar Ragnarok. Quite the name. Requires 2 Triple D monsters, so it's a little bit difficult to make. That's why I'm only running 1, but he is a relinquished. You can attack a monster, target a DD or a Dark Contract card, bounce it to your hand, and then equip 1 face-up monster your opponent controls to this card. It does not target, so that means you can take a Cosmo monster, such as Dark Destroyer, and then he gains that attack, so that would boost him up to 62. Most of the time he's going to be at around 5,000, so that's very, very great to see. Just have a 5,000 beater, and then he just runs over pretty much anything. And then DDD King Dark, we're playing triple of her because you always want to be able to make her. She's just so easy to make, just 2 DD monsters, and just being level 7 allows for so many different plays. If there was a level 8 fusion, we would be playing that. We'd be playing that probably at 3. And then 1 Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, which you can summon off of a destroyed Absolute Dragon. Kind of hard to make, but hey, it's viable. You can use its effect. It's more along the lines like with Absolute Dragon, you make Absolute Dragon if you're going first. If you're going first, try to make Absolute Dragon or Wing Number 38, or both of them if you can. That'd be absolutely broken. And then double DDD Blaze Flame King Genghis. So this guy helps with swarming because if you swarm the field, special summon out a DD monster, you can target a DD monster in your graveyard and special summon that one. So you summon out this guy using Swirl Slime and Echo Slime, and then you can use an Echo Slime to summon out DD Dark, and then you can use Blaze King or Flame King to summon out Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok, and then Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok, and then summon out another triple D monster. That means you have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards on your field, and you get a banish one. So yeah, pretty decent. Really helps with swarming a lot. Now for our rank 8s, these are just all really good OTK cards, such as number 62, Galaxy Prime Photon Dragon. He gains attack equal to all combined ranks times 200. So if you can get out a lot of monsters, that can be pretty decent, because he's 4,000, and just by himself he goes up to 56. So that can be a decent amount of damage. Now this guy is absolutely broken, because if he is Exile Summon is not negated, then all face-up cards on the field are negated, all face-down cards on the field cannot be activated, and during either player's turn, heavy storm the field. Pretty much that's what he does. So he's really broken, really great, just gets rid of all back row, shuts it down. pretty much, but you can't swarm as much. It's much harder to swarm after you make this guy, so you want to do as much swarming beforehand. But you can also detach to target a Dark Contract card in your graveyard and set it. So you blow up your Dark Contract cards, and then during your opponent's turn, during your turn, if your opponent didn't set any more backward because they didn't want it to be blown up, you can use it to get back a Dark Contract at the gate, and then use gate again. And then Cypher Dragon is Cypher Dragon. Just target a monster your opponent controls, gain control of it, its attack becomes 3,000, and your face-up monsters cannot attack directly. So it doesn't help with OT King, but you can definitely do at least 4,000 damage, I'd say. You should be able to do 4,000 damage. Number 38 negates a spell card and attaches it to him. Negates an attack. If it's destroyed, you get to summon out Vortex Dragon. Big Eye takes a monster your opponent controls, so that's definitely very useful. DDD, Wave King Caesar, is very great. This is another card that you'd want to make if you're going first, if you can. During either player's turn, detach an XYZ material from this card. At the end of the battle phase, especially from your graveyard, as many monsters destroy this turn as possible. But you take 1,000 damage per, unless you summoned out Dark, or Dark is on your field, in which case you gain 1,000 per. And if this card is sent from the field to graveyard, add 1 Dark Contract card from your deck to hand. So pretty much making him gets you 2 searches. The first time he's destroyed, you detach and he goes to the graveyard, then summons himself back out, and of course you got a search off when he hit the graveyard. And then the next time he gets destroyed, you get off another search for another Dark Contract card. So it really helps with getting extra Dark Contract cards to your hand. And then playing 1 Dolon just in case we get out 2 Kepler or a Kepler and a Slime, or 2 Slimes, or whatever. He has the attack, so definitely good with OT King, and he's 1200, but when he's able to have attacks during the damage step, it definitely helps. 1200 is not small when you're having monster attacks. But then again, Blue Eyes would still be 15. And that's pretty much it for this deck. Something else you could do is you could tech in Kaijus, because they're all level 8. Well, not all of them, but these guys are all level 8, and I think there's some level 7s. So, definitely a possibility that you could do, either just have them in the side deck or whatnot, just being able to summon these guys out. I'm not sure how consistent that would be, and I honestly don't think I'd do it, but hey, it's possible to do. If you need help making rank 8s, Kaijus can really help out with that. So that is it for this deck profile. This, again, is just an OTK deck. It just swarms the field. I'm really waiting for the tuner to be announced, or for it to come out, because there's 2 different tuners in this. Let me show you what the tuners are. There's this tuner. This is a tuner I want to get, because when he's normal summoned, you target a double D monster, and at the end a double D and a triple D are the same thing. Special summon it. Its attack and defense becomes 0. If it's destroyed, you take 1,000 damage. But you can only special them out if you taps. But hey, it special summons out a DD monster from your graveyard, which is pretty great. Because then you can just make so many plays. It's oh, Swirl Slime, make this guy, summon out this guy, and then target a monster in your graveyard, and then he summons out another monster. So just more swarm. There's also this card, which isn't that bad. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, send a DD or Dark Contract card from your hand or face up to your graveyard, except another copy of itself. Special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. And being a level 1, I think there's some combos where you can make Trishula, because I've seen some people make Trishula, I think, but I'm not certain. So I'm really waiting to see what tuners we get. And then there's, of course, some also really good we have this guy, but you can't make him because we don't have a DD tuner. This guy definitely also waiting on. And yeah, there's just so many cards. I don't even know what this deck will look like once we get all of these other cards. Well, like this guy we haven't even gotten. I don't know if I'd even play him. Once his effect is, once per turn, if a monster is destroyed by battle by card attack, target one of those monsters gains attack to that monster's original attack until the end of this turn. Cannot attack directly, cannot be destroyed by spell trap cards. Alright, well, a lot of other good DD cards. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.